So it's all right, and it is all right, to speak up about the UFOs in our skies. It's quite all right, you all. This is really strange because this camera that I'm using is not able to bring about the crisp images on here for some reason. I wonder, I really do wonder if this camera right here has somehow, you all, let me just say this. If this camera right here that I'm looking at somehow was able to, when I show the pictures of the ships, somehow when I flip the camera around, it's not showing the details. It's not. Isn't that strange? It's like making them blurry on the opposite end, you all. Making them blurry on the opposite end. I assure you that these are much crisper than what this camera on the other end is showing. Much, much crisper looking. But I think something's going on. And they don't want me to show the ships. They don't. This is really strange. And it's okay to talk about UFOs, you all. Let's get this out of my face. It's okay. It's okay to talk about the UFOs that are up in the sky. Hello. Excuse me. I'm going to try this, you all. I don't think my camera, hold on one second. I'll put this down. Okay. I don't think this is right. I really don't. I've not had this problem before. Let me flip this around. I have not had a problem before trying to bring out the images crisp on here, but with this, like this right now, there's something wrong, you all, because this is not making these look crisp like they are. Something's not right, and I'm wondering why. Why don't you want me to show crisp images? Why? That's what I'm thinking. Because there's thousands of these ships in our sky, and as I zoom up, I know with my iPhone, my other iPhone, we would get really clear images. Good morning, everyone. I have no idea about no med beds. I don't follow that. I don't even study it. I really don't. But I'm talking about these UFOs. That's my area of focus. These massive UFOs that I have documented, but for some strange reason, I'm not able to get this camera. They did say this camera does not have a good capability as the ones that the predecessors before them, is what they said. They don't. And I'm just wondering why. Hello, Apple Brooks, honey. Yeah, so I'm just wondering why they don't. Why don't they have the crisp images? And some of these ships are in the sky. Well, actually, all of these, they're like interdimensional. And so, yeah, you can't make them out with this right here. I thought, I'm going to use my cell phone because it's worked before. No, Gina, honey, they don't want you to get a clear image. You all, they don't. They don't want me to get a clear image. And you may say, who's they? The ones who don't want the information out about the UFOs. You all, that's who they is. That's who they is. Right there. You can see there was thousands of them that came in. They came in by the thousands. They kept multiplying and multiplying is what happened. All these ships right here. And it is kind of disappointing for me. I'll just say it. That, yeah. Ika, you're absolutely right. And there is a reason for that. There is an absolute reason for it. They don't want people to see. They don't. And see, when I'm showing these like this, no, I can't do it justice. I can't. I can't do justice because it's literally, it's blurring out my images, you all. And I'm just being honest with you. Even if I go like this, let me see. There would be a somewhat, there's more detail than what you're seeing right here. with some of these ships. Although you can see a little bit more. Look, here's the it's like portal down there. Looks at a hole, the round circle right there is what it's like. Let's see if we can see some more. No, see, it's I really don't know why they're doing this. Well, I do. I just say it, you all. But there's so many ships. And these are in our skies, even though you may not be able to see them. They're interdimensional, and yet they become materialized where we're at. They do materialize, and they don't look like any ships that you see in our skies today, except unless you go to the observatories and you catch the UFOs, then you'll see them, you all. Then you'll see them. See these circles? Kind of reminds me of the interdimensional ship that right there at the Papacano volcano last night. How it showed up on there. The hello everyone, welcome. So I'm trying to show these pictures. I really am, and my phone does not want to hone in on these pictures. Let's see if I can get it. Let me see. And they make them smaller too, to where it can't be really seen that well. Perhaps maybe if I adjust the brightness of my screen, maybe it might bring them out more, but I don't know. I do have a playlist of these ships on there. All these types of ships that are in our skies. I do. This was just different filterings trying to see if I could get images of them coming out from the other dimension. Okay, so now we got some more detail. We do. Isn't that interesting? Maybe I just needed to brighten my screen some, maybe, but it may be a little bit too brightened if you're just tuning in. These are images, oh, that's about right, Gina, that I've documented of these ships coming in by the thousands. Yeah, there are lots of little windows. Absolutely there are. And they're layered. If I was to, let me turn this back to me. If I was to look at these ships right here, and if I was to, well, there is an image of a bunch of these like this. They look like clouds clustered around the sun. They're layered like that, I would say, just by the look of how these look, that these would be those ships layered in the clouds that around the sun at times. That's what I would say. So you can see these right here too. So maybe this camera likes more light so they can see. There are boxy ships up there too, you all. And there's like, you can see they've got some type of a rainbow-like signature. Yeah, a rainbow-like signature. Now let me put this back to me. I won't show too many. I won't. Just a tad bit. Since I got out my laptop. So you can see circles on these ships from the other dimension. And if there's a glare, I do apologize. I do. If you see a glare on here. I've got a really good close-up of some of these ships on my cell phone on one of my pictures, and I was going to share it on here, and I have not done it. I haven't done it at all yet. But that's okay, you all, because these ships, see, there look like there's another part of a window right here. These ships are This is like one of my favorite photos. You may have seen a photo with this long ship in it, but this is the broader picture, the larger picture of it, with all these other ships clustered around it, like this. And Gina, can you get that off of there? Yeah, I can. I get my glare off of my phone. Okay, well, see, I don't know if that interferes with it or not. It might, just because I don't have this light on. I think it does make a difference. Let me see. Let me lower this light a little bit. Maybe you all might all have to do with lighting is what it might have to do with. See how they can like layer themselves up? Have you noticed that when you've taken pictures, you've seen a band around something in the sky like this on these big long ships and stuff? Have you noticed it in some of your photos? See these round, look like round heads right here too. They're in the skies also. And just wonder at times what's truly transpiring. You know, there's many. How many species did they say there are? Like 5, and then some people say there's like hundreds of different types. I don't know what this is doing. Of species on this earth is what they're saying. I've got to be careful with this, you all, because I'm making these go all over the place. See another opening in here. Yeah, I won't do too long of a video since I'm just showing these right here. I'm trying to learn how to use this phone. I would have done the landscape mode, but I'm not used to it that well. I don't do it that well. I don't in the landscape mode, but it's okay. Some of these look like the ships that, let's see, came off the ground last night in the last video that you looked last night. Long ships, and they leave behind them like a cloud of something like this, you all, is what happens as they, guess, come in and out of their dimension. It's like this type of residual, I don't know. It's kind of like when ships, not ships, like a rocket would blast off. It's similar to that. See how it's like, it does, it looks like the ones on the live webcam, the signature that is left behind them because they're slowly materializing into the area that I took the pictures. So that, look at these windows up here. Look at this. It's like the one image of the ship, the corner of the ship in Maine on the live webcam. It had big windows in it also. But this is like when they're decloaking enough to get their picture taken. You can see what is left behind. It really is interesting how that is the color that showed up in my photos now that I think about it. And then you have the tan, dusty looking clouds in the sky. You do, they got like a interdimensional layer on them is what they've got, an interdimensional layer. Grand rising, everyone. If you're just tuning in, hello, and I may not flip this camera around to me very much. I won't, probably, because I'm going to show these ships. I've got these in one of my photos on my laptop is what I've got, and I haven't looked at them in a long time, but these are some of the shapes of the ships that are in the sky. You can see them right here. And they literally do. They cloak themselves. Look at that. 2 different types. Wait. Look at that one below. Does that not look like the shape of the Hawaii one last night? Kind of, sort of, with minus the window because we can't see the window. Wow, it's kind of interesting. And I've got a glare. I admit I've got a glare on here, you all. I don't like the glare that's on my computer, but it's all right. It'll be fine. You all, if I can handle it, you can handle it. We can handle it. There is a reason why I documented all these pictures for 2.5 to 3 years every single day. There really is. Because I can't see anything like that that you put a lot of time and effort into doing, put your whole heart into it. Look like a donut shape right there. Boom, look at this. Doesn't this look like the cubes that show up on the cameras at times? You're watching a program, you got these like little cube things like that. And they're not little. They're by no means of your imagination are they little at all. You may see duplicate things of images because that's how it happens, you all. It is. The Palladians. I have not saw any of them in my lifetime. No Palladians or any of those. All I saw was the three beings, two human-like and one small tan extraterrestrial, and the two smaller beings in my yard one night that I only got where their eyebrows were up to their head and their hand covering their face. That's the only instance of them that I have ever seen of those particular type. Look at the little frillies underneath here, you all. Isn't that interesting? And I'm sure it's not like tassels or anything like that. I'm sure it's something much more. And some of these ships look really cool in the edge detect mode, because then you see lots more. Look how it's like the veil. That's like they're coming through the veil is kind of what it's like. Just enough to get some type of a view of them. Just enough, you all. And again, that same signature right here that was seen on that FAA webcam, the same type of signature you can see. Cloaking technology, you all. It is. They're cloaked, and this does look like it. The same type, just masking so that you can't see it all the way, which is really, really interesting. Gina, you went through a whole bunch of these. You all did. I don't know why my camera just does that, you know. If you got something. Oh, did you see that? Let's look at it again. I think we looked at this before. Yeah, we did. If you hadn't seen that, that's pretty cool. It's something flew down around over the moon. And I took that with my Nikon camera. Isn't that strange? In the night sky, as I was zooming up on the moon, I wonder if it cast a shadow. See it? And see, you can do that too. You can slow it down and look at it. I couldn't tell you when this was. It's been a long time ago. Let me put this back to me. I am going to go, you all. I'm getting myself sidetracked staring at that moon, but I am going to go. But these UFOs, there's no reason why we can't speak up, and it's all right to speak up concerning the UFOs that are in the skies around the world, because we know they're there, they know they're there, and it's all right for us to voice our concern and or just raise our voice saying, you know, we know they're here, we know they're here. And so do a lot of other people. You may not hear them say that, but they know they're here. And it's probably power struggle too. It's all about power and control. Yeah, but that's okay, you all. We're going to continue down this road. We are, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with documenting anything. So thank you all for coming on here this morning. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. You all love you.